Happy birthday, Virgo. It's your turn. We're doing the September reads. Everything you need to know is in the description box of the video and the channel. My name is Ashley Dawn Watson. We're going to start with your magnetic poetry. And then after we do magnetic poetry, we're going to do past, present, future. We're going to do the 6 card. We're going to do, I guess it's an 18 card spread. But do check your rising moon and Venus sign for additional messages. Happy Sunday to y'all. And I decided not to do shorts or like the little weeklies this week because I want to get the monthlies done. So let's get started for you here. Virgo's messages from magnetic poetry. What do we have? Not many words. Get out your pen and paper. Okay. We are using the Yokai Tarot for you. Not a lot of words, I know. So, but that's what we have, and so we'll get started for you. Yokai Tarot. These are bigger decks. They're thicker cardstock, so I only take flippers and jumpers, maximum of 3 each time. I will be reading dignities, of course. And we'll give you a shot of the spread at the end there as well. If you aren't already subscribed and you're showing up here and you like what I do, you can subscribe and that would be super helpful. I think we're in the last push of summer here because it's super hot out today. But yeah. So if you hear a fan in the background, I actually had to put the fan in my office to do readings today because it's too warm. Yesterday it was also warm and it was too hot for me even, you know, I didn't do anything. I laid around, I watched TV, I just wasn't doing anything. So yesterday was lazy day. Okay, twist for fairness for you. Okay, Virgo, past energy for you. We're doing September. Past energy, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What do we have? Knight of Cups in the upright. Romanticism. Pisces energy there. But definitively poeticism, action that you're taking towards somebody or somebody's taking action towards you, the sharing of poetry, music, even knight in shining armor energy on that. I want to read these as a sentence, so I'll show you in a sec. What else do we have? I like sending the heart emojis and shit like that. Yeah. Tell me more. I don't want to have to pull cards. Oh, that was good. Nice. 7 of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, the dropping. The feeling of honesty associated with it, too. The feeling of honesty associated with this action, this romantic action here. In the Knight of Cups, we do have honesty and somebody not hiding something about this action, but there's also the expression of the lack of determination, the lack of drive, the lack of ambitiousness. Could also be somebody who's not quite feeling a Capricorn energy, not quite feeling comfortable in the home space there. Could also be somebody who's kind of like a loss of wealth, a loss of luxury. Wrong. Not necessarily a loss of luxury, but like, here I'm kind of seeing like there is no pretension. Like there's an unpretentiousness. So like it's almost like with this action, this poetic romantic action that's being carried forward, there's a practicality and a natural unpretentiousness to it. In the past, it's almost as if it's very honest, and doesn't have that over the top quality to it. Like it's that's card vomit that we're not taking, but we will take this. High Priestess. Yeah, there's something intuitive or secretive or quiet associated with it. Pisces energy again. Or there's almost something intuitive or secretive that you're kind of feeling associated with that action, or that somebody else is. Tell us more. Somebody intuitively knew that they would be sitting in that space of losing their drive for something. They intuitively knew there was dishonesty. A secret was being kept. It was dishonest. One more in the past. Libra energy on that one. I don't know that I have to tell people that are coming to the readings about the signs. Can't take all of these. I don't know that I have to tell anybody all of the signs all the time. Sometimes you do, you know. But Ten of Coins. Intuitively, somebody knew that there was dishonesty, a lack of balance, or a lack of fairness or justice, equilibrium in something, and that there was a loss of legacy. Somebody wasn't attached to their legacy, or something wasn't going to lead to their legacy. Kind of read as I went there, didn't I? In the present for you, Virgo. Oh, that was fast. 1, 2, 3. There are only happy accidents here. There's some rest and rejuvenation, meditative state happening here. A recovery period of sort that follows the 3 of Swords here with the 4 of Swords. A time where somebody is forlorn, but they're taking the time to nurse their broken heart. Following walking away from something that would have normally been emotionally fulfilling. They're in search of greater emotional fulfillment, the vehicle being their own self-worth. They've decided to kind of shut off the faucet of their waters towards somebody. Scorpio energy there. And it's still sad to them, you or somebody else. There's still that sadness associated with it, and the need to take stock of things. The need to pause and take a moment to reflect is inherent here with the 4 of Swords in the present. I mean, and there is great reflection that occurs during birthday seasons for a lot of people anyway, so that could very well just be the way it's kind of shaking out anyway. But there's something, whoever this is, either you or somebody else, I think it's the person who in the past had been that Knight of Cups energy, is kind of, you know, in that headspace of, well, I put all of this romanticism out there, I did the action, and it was very unpretentious, and unassuming. Yet there were secrets, and I'm just going to keep going like that. There were secrets and a lack of balance or equilibrium, or it wasn't reciprocated. And it wasn't my legacy. It wasn't the path that was meant for me. Intuitively, somebody knew that. And so, yeah, it's almost like there was like they were playing tennis with a wall and a potato, either you or somebody else. And in the present here, and this could even be professionally, like somebody put all of their efforts and energy and even their emotion in particular, their emotion, their romanticism into, and expressions of romanticism into their work where they put their time, energy, and efforts. And intuitively they knew that there was something going on that was dishonest or not fair, or deep injustice, a deep sense of injustice. And in the present, there's a walking away after a deep meditative state, after contemplated. The contemplative energy here is super high. Is somebody sad knowing, see how they're holding the mirror there, they've looked at themselves, they've reflected, and they understand that there's the need to be visceral, and so they're walking away. They're walking away from the cups there of a situation, a relationship, understanding that there is a time to give freely of their waters and a time to hold back, which is something that Scorpio individuals are super good at. The King of Cups is a Scorpio card anyway, but the time to end something or transform something into a different state is apparent right now. Shuffling backwards, interesting. Okay. In the present for you during September, Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Tell us more. Yeah, intuitively you knew that it was time to shut something down, or somebody else knew it was time to walk away and shut something down before, because you knew it was inequitable. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is just wrought with decisions. Aries, Sagittarius energy with the Judgment card there. It was time. And you know what? We have the Queen of Swords here in reverse, right under the Justice card in reverse. Happening during Libra season, potentially. Or you could be a Virgo, Libra cusp individual. So mid-September could be your birthday season. But there's a decision here that has to do with secrets. The deep sense of injustice might actually be so far-reaching that it's actually in the court system. You know? Because we have justice, judgment, and the Queen of Swords in the reverse. This could be a judgment against you. This could be somebody, coming towards you with legal action that does not work out in your favor. But it could also just be that the secret and there's just no fairness to it. Lies, inequity, and no balance. The judgment call is nigh, and there's a need to make the decision because something isn't fair, truthful. It isn't impartial. It's not balanced. And it's not serving a legacy here. And tell us more, Virgo. Lastly, in your present energy, yeah, you could be encountering some legal difficulties or something where somebody is taking out a lawsuit against you that doesn't work out in your favor. Intuitively, you knew that. You could have been involved in something that wasn't balanced. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a nefarious character. It's just in the court system, they don't look at things from your side type of. They're not there to, yeah. There's something that is not surprising here. I think with that High Priestess there, there's Scorpio again in the reverse. Something that's not necessarily super surprising. but it's coming to a head. There is something that is changing that is unexpected. I don't think you're in the present expecting for this unfair judgment call or this unfair decision to be handed down, but you know that it's not serving your greater purpose or your highest good, or towards your legacy for what you should be dedicating your time, energy, or effort towards. And so the axe shall fall. Remember, that tower doesn't necessarily always mean something really intense. I mean, it is intense because it is something toppling. But it's something that I think you saw coming. You're in the present. You see the collapse of something. Do you remember that when those types of things happen, it affords us the ability to build from scratch on a better foundation, right? In the future for you, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do we have? Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah, there's going to be an alleviation of fears. Actually, I think that the alleviation of fears in the future is going to be credited to your the fact that you did a lot of soul searching and reflection and meditation before you decided to walk away from something here and shut off your emotions to it prior to making decisions. It's almost as if in the present, the decision making that you're going through, that you're navigating in the present line, it's almost as if it's a shock to somebody, but it's not a shock. And you've done the work and you've already shut off to it before it's time to make the decision. But in handing down the decision, it's almost like the speech is being prepared to say that something wasn't fair, somebody was being dishonest, or it wasn't being truthful, or something wasn't. I keep getting the balance of things, the equilibrium was off. And in the future here, you actually see where you're sleeping better at night. There's an alleviation of the fear and anxiety that was associated with the connection to this in the first place. I don't get that this is emotional. I mean, I know there's a lot of emotion attached to it, but I feel like this is a professional thing. Why do I get that? It's professional, or it's linked to, it's like business dealings or something. Business dealings, or I don't get that it's a relationship thing. Hierophant in the reverse with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, there's a dropping of your guard. After you walked away from an organization with a huge structure, or a belief system, something that it was an institution of sorts that was already in collapse. You didn't feel you had permission to do so, but it was already in collapse. It wasn't. It's almost as if your beliefs were skewed in a way when it came to it. But you don't feel that you have to defend your decisions here. You don't have to defend your decisions to walk away from it, to shut off your emotion when it comes to it, because you no longer have the capacity to believe in it. It has collapsed. Taurus energy there. Scorpio season could be when we're doing this. When we do not feel that we have, you don't have like that mob coming towards you with all those wands freaking out at you, where you have to defend your decisions. This is on its way out. It is in decline. It is collapsing. Whatever philosophical belief system, whatever highly structured religious organization, even an organization in and of itself with a hierarchy, it's almost as if it's in decline. It was collapsing. You don't feel You don't feel anxiety about it, and you don't feel that you have to defend your decision to walk away from it, even though it would have been, emotionally fulfilling at one time. And you're not giving of your heart space to it anymore. You knew the decision was nigh, and it was time to make that decision. It was what was right for you. Something was inequitable. It does come as a surprise to some people, but it was never your 10 of coins. You understood that way back here. Intuitively, you felt it. Even though the romanticism was there. And it seemed honest and unassuming. King of Wands in the reverse, Leo energy. You could be dealing with a little bit of backlash from your decisions here. Some stubbornness as well. We have the fixed signs here in en masse. Oh, that King of Wands in the reverse. It's almost as if you get to drop your guard because you're no longer feeling like you need to take the lead on anything. You don't. Your hands off on this. It's almost like you're saying, "I made my decision. I don't need to defend it any longer. It's not my monkey, not my circus." You could have somebody coming to you who is of Leo persuasion, that is angered about the decision or is demanding justification for it, but you're not, it's very scorching, you see. They could be coming to you demanding, because they don't think something's fair about your decisions. Or they might be treating you unfairly, thank you. But they're passionate to the point of poison about it. King of Swords in the reverse, he's the despot king. You know, he doesn't rule with a firm hand, he rules by fear. He's not interested in warming anybody, he's interested in burning people, right? Yeah, like he's the guy who burns bridges, you know? But you're not interested in that. So you don't need to, you've got no anxiety, no fear. You saw it on its way out. You don't believe in it anymore. So you're not, you're keeping your guard up. I would say, though, that while you feel that you don't have to defend your decisions and you don't necessarily feel like you should be defensive about anything, that I would be wary of the fact that you have somebody coming in like this to you. Yeah, don't be triggered by them. But yeah, like, thank you. It's almost as if they don't have control of their fire. And they want to come in guns a-blazing in reference to your decisions there. But it's, so, you know, be cautious about, you know, like, don't feel like you, I mean, just don't be nonchalant, I guess, is maybe, thank you, that's kind of what I was trying to say. Yeah, because they're coming in as if they're the wounded warrior. There's a little bit of a victimhood mindset attached to this person. Like I had said before, they're sitting there saying it's not fair. You know, they can't, this person is coming in under the Queen of Swords, with the bandage on their head, saying, look at all the sacrifices that I've made, and I'm, you know, I'm hurt. This isn't fair, you know, and they're lamenting over it. Yeah, it's also over the surprise with that tower there. They wanted a heads up. Sorry. Yeah, they wanted a heads up on it. There's a feeling as if it wasn't your responsibility nor your news to deliver. Don't know why I'm getting that, but it's almost as if this decision that you made here was linked to something greater that wasn't your heads up to give this person. So it's not righteous indignation that they're coming at you with down here. Just don't be nonchalant about it, because everybody has the right to their feelings, whether or not they're accurate or, well, not accurate. Again, everybody has a right to their feelings. Whether or not they're relevant to your part that you played is another story. People still have a right to how they feel. It's just, you have to choose whether or not you want to accept it. You don't have to accept it. You know? Accept people's right to their feelings, not their feelings, you know? So at the end of the day, how they feel XYZ months, years later is a lot different than what they feel in the moment. And in particular, they might not be able to articulate adequately how they actually feel in the moment. The way somebody feels versus what they articulate could be completely different. They're coming off here as if, whoever this is, they're coming off here as if they're, there's a huge victimhood mindset this person's carrying with them. It's not fair. You didn't give me a warning. I wanted to be in the know about this decision that was being made. How come you didn't let me know? I could have been more prepared for the unexpected. Well, nobody can be prepared for the unexpected. I don't think you were even really prepared for the unexpected here, because it seems as if you also are party to the imbalance with whatever decision that happens. It is a Tower. Lastly, okay, you got two. You're the King of Coins in the upright. Finally, we got a King in the upright. Taurus energy with the Five of Swords, yeah. It's almost as if you are sitting in your right power and you're expressing to somebody from a nurturing, emotionally stable, emotionally mature, but also there's something about the awareness of your speech and the firmness in this. It's almost as if you're trying to provide wisdom and guidance, you know, and there's just a stability to the time that you're going to spend communicating to this person about the self-deception. Taurus season here. Or there's a Taurus individual who's going to come in and express either on your behalf or it seems as if they're expressing that there's self-deception involved, or that there was self-deception involved, or self-sabotage involved. That this victimhood mindset is linked to... This is lies that people tell themselves, right? So this stable energy comes in, and there's something about it that tells me this person comes in, and it could even be you if you have Taurus in your chart, to, you know, to express and take the time to express and expend the effort to express. That there's self-deception involved in this mentality here that this other person's kind of firing off at you. I don't know, ma'am. September, eh? Willful ignorance. Deciding to turn a blind eye to something. Not wanting to know, not wanting to learn. Not interested in observing something for the purposes of learning. You've kind of shut off to this. You already know how it's going to pan out, it seems like, and so you're preparing yourself and you're not interested in observing how it's working for other people, and you're definitely not interested in impulsively communicating to others about it. You're in fact holding off from impulsive communication here, trying not to be that person, trying to lean into your practical analytical side, but turning inward to yourself as opposed to looking outside at others. Okay, that's what I have for you during September, Virgo. If you like what I do, do this, and if you want to see more, because I do typically, I have started in the last month or so doing weeklies and such. You can always subscribe too, because that's super helpful. So we'll see when we see you next. Happy birthday, and be well. Remember, this is just a month. Okay. Bye. And this is the spread. This is what we're looking at today. Right? Ooh, lovely. Okay, thanks. Bye.